This is radio like you never heard before. Celebrity TV radio, the best in entertainment and sport. What's up, y'all? It's Tupac.
Hey, this is Lady Gaga. What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce.
This is Mason Jackson. It's your boy, Baby Bear.
Hey, this is Justin Bieber. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Kelly Clarkson.
Hey, what's up? This is 50 Cent. This is your boy, Flo Rida. Believe that.
Yo, the deal is Ja Rule.
What up? This is Kesha.
This is David Guetta.
What's up with Destiny's Child?
This your boy, Drake.
Hi, this is Rihanna.
Hey, this is Tom Cruise. Yo, what up? It's Big Snoop, y'all. Friday like y'all. This your boy, Twisted Howard.
Hey, this is Taylor Swift, and you're listening to
You're listening to Eric and Kelly. You're listening to Check This Out. Check it out. And this is
What's up? This is Big Will Smith. Hey, check this out, man. It's your boy, Yo Troll. Sit around, man. Sit
Hi, this is Madonna.
What up? This is Lupe Fiasco.
Yo, what up? Big boy, Wiz Cole. Bobby, yo, in the building. This is Kings of Leon. Hi, this is Lionel Richie.
Hi, it's Christine Yedebar.
Hey, what's up? This is Jay-Z.
Hello, this is Brandon Boyd from the band Incubus.
This is your DJ Godfather Grandmaster Flash.
This is Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Hi, this is Eric Clapton. Sit down. What's up? This is LL Cool J.
Not me.
You are listening to Celebrity TV radio. Get entertained. There's nothing like listening to Celebrity TV radio. It's fun. Celebrity TV radio. We dare to lead. This is radio like you never heard before. Celebrity TV radio. The pathfinder for radio. Celebrity TV radio. Redefining broadcasting. Listen.
All right, good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on Elevator TV Radio. My name is Daffy Matthew. You love to come in Elevator One Sports. It's a wonderful time to be alive, like I always say, and feels good to be here. How does Nottingham Forest pick up a red card and still beat Tottenham Hotspur 2 goals to nothing? Okay, Arsenal, I can understand. They fielded a team that with a plan to get knocked out of the competition. I understand. Liverpool also fielded a team with a plan to get knocked out of the competition, but they progressed on penalty against Derby. Well, but Tottenham Hotspur, that squad that they fielded does look to me like a squad that wants to win it. But unfortunately, even with 10 men, somehow Nottingham Forest won that game 2 goals to nothing. They couldn't even score. Okay, so if you think I'm lying, let's look at the lineup. Look at the players. Look at the players that was fielded in this game for Tottenham Hotspur. Ben Foster is in goal. I mean, that should be good. Sanchez, Dyer, Langley. These 3 guys are everyday players that can play in the Premiership. Okay? Doherty, Skip, Bissouma, Højbjerg, and Sissenio. I wouldn't say that that's not a good team. And then you have Kane and Perisic. Hey, hello, somebody. Explain to me how that team could not play against. I don't even understand. Awoni Surridge, Lingard, who scored, and Lodi, who also scored, Brian, Mangala. Yes, Mangala, which was the last time he played football. Yes, Oria, Warner. But come on. Okay, the Niners is a fantastic goalkeeper. I agree. Yeah, but Spurs losing 2-0, not even scoring a goal. That's, to me, is crazy. Manchester City have turned the Etihad into a place where if you come, you get out of for body. There is no 2 ways about it. This is the most complete team in the Premier League because even their second team looked like the first team for that team. Okay, they started with Grealish, Alvarez, Mahrez. That's the starting lineup for any other team in the Premier League currently, but it's only Man City that will call them second team. And then in midfield, you have Gundogan, Rodri, Palmer. Remove Palmer, the other 2 will start in any other midfield. Even Palmer will start in a lot of 10 teams in the Premier League, if not more. And then you have Gomez, Laporte, Diaz, Lewis. Laporte and Diaz, come on. These are first 11 for any other team in the Premier League as well. So between Chelsea, Uparide, Chalobah, Koulibaly, Cucurella, that's also a good team. Mendy is a goal. Chalobah, Koulibaly, Cucurella, fantastic players that, on their day are first team player. Loftus-Cheek, Kovacic, Zakaria, and Hall. Okay, let's remove Zakaria and Hall, but the other ones are starters. Ziyech, Breuer, and Pulisic. These are starters for Chelsea, even in the Premier League, but they got beat 2-0. Chelsea are on this run of losing, like losing is going out of fashion. But then there's the one that really got me, like, wait a minute. West Ham lost at home 3-2 to Blackburn Rovers. That is crazy. I didn't see that coming. I thought they were going to look into this competition and say, let's make some progress here, because there's a possibility that the big sides would not want to take it serious. But then that didn't happen. Well, I'm not alone in the studio. I'm here with my... They say somebody said is the sorcerer's apprentice. I don't think so. He is actually the sorcerer. His apprentice will come, but it does look like he's the sorcerer. Because yesterday I was listening to him while we were driving to school, and I was like, yeah, this guy is the guy. This guy is the future that I've started already. Benedict Eki is in the building. Some of you like to call him Ijebode Pondit. Some others says Otokutu Pondit. Whatever you call him, but he's the man. Benedict, good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet. How are you?
I'm fine. Good morning, Mr. Dafe. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. At your mom, at your siblings, I'll keep asking that question.
My mom joined she was listening yesterday, and she was just pointing some errors. I said stadiums, which is incorrect in case most people don't know. And then there was this part when someone asked me, France, Mbappe's ego affect France. I told him that France are not going anywhere this World Cup. Then I said I can bet my life, and she said that that's your boss's character. You understand? Because you get violence sometimes because some things do annoy.
France are not going anywhere because their midfield is shitty. They still have a very decent defense. Their attack is one to envy. But football, the cooking is done in the midfield, and I think France have a very shitty midfield.
They lost the two most crucial midfielders from
Kante and Pogba.
So now it's Tchouameni and Kamavinga to actually kind of step up. But their most informed player is still Olivier Giroud, and if you look at it for a World Cup team, and Olivier Giroud and Kylian Mbappe are the most informed players, and he must be in a lot of trouble. But yesterday in overall was a good day. Glad to be here.
Yeah. So let's do this show again. Arsenal got knocked out of the Carabao Cup at home. Good one about home.
Either way, it could be correct. Like Henry Ford would say, whether you believe it or not, either way, you're right. They fielded a team, like you earlier said, that were not willing to win, and they lost. That's just how it went.
How about Tottenham Hotspur? Can you give me a reason for Tottenham Hotspur losing that game?
I think Antonio Conte is generally tired of coaching as it is right now for Tottenham Hotspur. He needs to go on a sabbatical, because if really
sabbatical or go to Juventus.
No, the whole team entirely, because this same thing, if you bring another manager in, you're going to get the same results.
Is this the Spurs that what's it called, Emmanuel Sebastian, I love people said, this is the team that will compete on the title? Is this the same Spurs?
Wait, I believe everyone who said that, including me, looked at the form of the last season. But I believe
which form? Jump form.
Arsenal was in the
Tottenham Hotspur did not have a form. And I will keep saying it, but people don't want to believe. Like when I say this, they're like, oh, what are you saying? Tottenham Hotspur did not have a form.
But from 6 to 4
to the end of last season, what happened was the teams that were above them dropped. I mean, Arsenal was in a good run. Arteta won Manager of the Month. Next game against Crystal Palace, they lost. And then 10 games that was 10 games to the end of the season after winning Manager of the Month in March, at the end of March. 10 games to the end of the season, they lost 5. So let's say hypothetically, of those 5 that Arsenal lost, all they needed was just to win 1 of those 5 and lose 4. Spurs will still not make the top 4. So I don't see that as Spurs form, but rather Arsenal's crazy erratic loss of form. As Arsenal ended that season more horrible than they started the season. And then who was the other team again that was chasing that top 4 that also dropped? West Ham. And then Manchester United. All of them were bad. So pretty much Spurs took over. But a lot of people were saying Spurs were in form. No, Spurs were not in form. There was no form. And when you look at the Spurs team, it's same of the same. You still expect Harry Kane to do magic. How long would Harry Kane carry on? Even Moses got tired. They have to lift his hand up. Okay? When they were fighting in the Valley of Ajala also. So sometimes you have to ask yourself, what was the form? What was the thing that people saw that they were banking on? Oh, Antonio. You know, the one that really surprised me, that that bothered me was when people said Antonio Conte is a serial winner, therefore he's going to come and win with Spurs. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. This analysis does not rhyme with being a serial winner because Carlo Ancelotti was a serial winner. He came to Everton. Did he turn them into champions? No. Rafael Benitez was a serial winner. He came to Everton. Did he turn them into serial champions? No. The thing is, a serial winner also needs a team that is a serial winning team. If not, you're not going to be able to turn a war gecko into a lizard, let alone try to turn them into an abacara or alligator or crocodile, as the rest of the world knows it. Okay, so I don't think that it was about their form because everybody at some point it was not looking like, oh, maybe Edafe, you are beefing, Edafe, you don't even know sports anymore. What are you saying that sports is not? No, they are not title contenders because they were not informed as people perceive. The rest of the team just dropped. They just lost. Since the start of the season, even when they were winning, you could see that there's a chink in this armor. And look, every team that have gone on to compete for title or chase the title or probably win the title, solid at the back, good goalkeeper. Spurs does not have that solidity. If you pressure the Spurs defense, they are all over the place. They make mistakes, they create gaps and openings that make the opposition exploit it. They win games where the oppositions are not bold enough to really exploit those weaknesses, those gaps in their defense. And obviously, no matter how bad you are, you would win some games. So that's what Spurs have been doing. And let's not forget that also the whole team that's supposed to be competition for Spurs have also not really lived up to the expectations. Like Manchester United didn't start off the block and blow everybody away. Liverpool didn't start off the block and blow everybody away. Let's say Liverpool started the way they started. Arsenal is where Arsenal practically have recovered those games that they lost last season that made them not to make the top four. Are the games now that they are winning this season? Crystal Palace, they lost to Crystal Palace 3-0. This season they beat Crystal Palace 2-1, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Brighton and Hove also, they lost to them again, and then this season they beat them. So there are some of these games that you look and you say, okay, Arsenal would have lost these games towards the end of last season, but these are the games that they've won this season that have made them so good. It now looks like, oh, they've gone from a team that's supposed to just settle with chasing top four to people now nominate, even having the audacity to nominate Arsenal and say Arsenal is a title contender. No, Arsenal, I don't see that Arsenal is a title contender because I don't see the squad depth that is there. There's going to be some left. Now look at the number of players that is going to the World Cup from Arsenal. Yeah, Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, Granit Xhaka, William Saliba is in the French team. Thomas Partey will go to the World Cup, even though it might come early. Who is that one again? We have 6 of them already. There is who again is going to the World Cup? Tomiyasu.
Okay. And
yes, Tomiyasu. Aaron Ramsey is going to the World Cup. That's 8. Is Tierney going to the World Cup? Scotland going to the World Cup?
No, they are not going.
They're not going to the World Cup. So you look at all of those players. All of them are first-team players. They might come back from the World Cup very tired. Man City have the ability to rotate. So you can't bring those players back from the World Cup and load them in game out. They might get tired. After all, they're actually going to a different region. They're traveling, they'll be jet lagged, they'll be tired, the training system will be different from different countries that are pulling together. That might not affect them. But Arsenal does look on course to make that, pre-start of the season expectation of the top 4. They're in good form. Arteta needs to pray that nobody gets injured, and then quickly in January beg Edu to roll out the check, at least signing 4 players. That squad does not have depth. You have a very good starting 11. You have a team that are born together, that have put themselves well together. But when you look at all of this, you have to wake again and tell yourself, Arsenal needs to sign some players. They don't need to be big name players. They just need to be players that will just come in and blend in and then be ready to work. And also not really give the guys that are playing a competition, but give them a push, give them a support when you need to change them. You don't change a player like removing a Gabriel Jesus and you bring in Eddie Nketiah. You go from 100 to sub-zero. It doesn't work like that. You go from super hot to extremely cold. It doesn't work like that. So you have to bring in like something that is close to what you're removing. Haaland is not playing. Julian Alvarez is playing. It's a different dynamics to what you have, but he's also going to score goals just the same way Haaland scores goals. I think that's what Arsenal needs in their team. If they get that one in January and they are still on top of the league table in January and they're getting probably those 4 players, getting a backup defensive midfielder for Thomas Partey, getting another player in the creative midfield to back up Odegaard. I know that everybody's saying if Emily Smith comes, he's going to be like a new Smith Rowe. Sorry. Yeah. If he comes back,
that's 2 players that backing up
that is going to be like a new signing. My problem is when players come back from injury, sometimes they are not like as good as they used to be. They take time. And the title chase will not have that privileged to give you time to wait. So if Arsenal could get somebody else who can come in, like I'm not saying go sign Luka Modric, but Manchester United signed Casemiro. If you could get a player in the Modric mold who would be able to control the tempo of the game, shoot from outside the 18-yard box, even though it seems like shooting today is now becoming is going into extinction. But add up that one so that they can back up Granit Xhaka and Odegaard in that midfield, and then you bring in another guy who score goals, not any Nketiah, a guy who score goals in that attack. Because as Gabriel works that much, Jesus works that much, he doesn't stick the ball in the net. Thank God that the team is rallying around and goals are coming from everywhere. But there's going to come a time where a few games, the game that Arsenal drew, if Arsenal had somebody who stick the ball, those loose ball in the net, Arsenal would have won that game. Maximum 3 points would have been picked. By now, they would be 4 points or more over Manchester City. So Arsenal needs to find a player quickly that buries the ball in the net faster, and that doesn't need 20 chances to take one. What's it called? Gabriel Jesus, for instance, is leading the table on players that have had the biggest chances in the Premier League this season, but it's not leading in terms of goals converted. So those are some of the things that needs to be put into consideration when you're judging that team. But then let's look at the stories that are making the round that I need every one of us to sink our mouth into. So someone have an opinion about selecting Gabriel Martinelli instead of Gabriel Barbosa or Gabigol, as they love to call him. And I want us to look into that. First of all, do you think that it is wrong to pick Gabriel Martinelli for the Brazilian national team? I, for one, was not expecting him to go. I think that in that corner they have Neymar, they have Vinicius Junior. I think that they had a
Richarlison as well can play sometimes.
Can play both either ways. So I think that they had that edge covered. But hey, everybody have their own ways, and England is pretty much going to announce their squad there today or tomorrow, and we'll see. But it seems like Madison is not going to make it. It seems like Madison will not make it. I don't know yet, but it's looking like it's not going to make it. Let me get the story. So it's somewhere. I was like, okay, but should this guy be attacking like this? Should he come out swinging the way he's come out? Well, hey, everybody has the right to their opinion, and they've got the right to say the things that they want to say. Nobody should be God. That's what I've always said. And then yesterday again, Inter beat Bologna 6-1, but somehow AC Milan, Atalanta lost. Sorry, AC Milan drew the first day, and Atalanta lost. Is this really the season where Napoli are going to clean out on the title?
Well, it happens, like let's say in 2016, every other team just started paving way for you. Arsenal and Tottenham, who were supposed to push and push, they just started falling out. Things fall apart at some point, and they can go all the way. Since that's exactly what Napoli trying to replicate. And if things fall apart for them, come on, it's their luck. It's going to be their biggest luck. And talking about Gabriel Martinelli, a lot of people yesterday were asking me, like, why did Tite select Gabriel Martinelli and leave out Roberto Firmino? I see that this is a World Cup takes 4 years. There's a 4 years in between, and there's a Copa America in between. First of all, the manager will be watching not only your form at that time is going to pick you. So he has been watching these players for a quite normal time. Firmino, no doubt about that. Firmino has scored more goals than Gabriel Jesus this season. Firmino has scored more goals than Anthony, Richarlison, and Gabriel Jesus this season, as 3 of them together. But he didn't get selected. So, like I said, he's always looking for form of past year and current year right now. So, Gabriel Martinelli thoroughly deserves it. But the major thing is he's going there for the experience, and he might most likely not get game time. But getting selected for the World Cup is one of the best things that can happen to a player's career.
Okay, if you say so, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you whether it's right or not. And I'm just going to say the story anymore. I know I saw it this morning somewhere. Okay, this is the excuse that Arteta gave. He said the squad is very, very short. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has generally signing to push for silverware after watching his much changed side slump to 3-1 Carabao Cup defeat against Brighton. Now, Brighton is not really a bad side. I mean, they beat Chelsea. Yeah, they've given some teams some really serious problem. The squad is very, very short. Arteta said that. Arteta admits Arsenal could add to their short squad in January transfer window after his much-changed squad slump at the Carabao Cup defeat. The Gunners showed 10 changes from their weekend win at Chelsea, which took them back to the top of the Premier League as Brighton left the Emirates Stadium with a 3-1 win, with Arsenal top of the league and progressing as winners of the Europa League group. Arteta believed reinforcement will be required in the window to consolidate their strong position. if you are Edu and Arteta comes to you and say we need 4 players, would you sign the check?
They need players, but 4 players, considering how much they already spend, that's quite a lot. And although you can 4 players can combine can go for give or take 100 million. There are teams who
Yeah.
sign 4 players, they go for 300 million. There are some teams 4 players don't even get up to 50 million most of the time. You can look at
True.
Nottingham Forest. You can see the money they spend. If you divide it per head on the total, nobody's there up to 25 million per head. So that kind of thing. So it depends on the caliber of players he wants to buy. If he wants to buy, like you said, the second grade version of Luka Modric and co, then you could be expecting something around the 35 to 50 million per head range. That's quite a lot considering what they spend. But if they're going to get second, third grade players that could also push for the first team players, that's going to be good enough. But 4 players, it all depends on the caliber of players they want to sign.
All right. Somebody said, Digiro said, I think it's the Brazilian culture to have a youngster on the bench for the World Cup. Ronaldo da Lima in 1994, Kaká in 2002. Was Kaká youngster in 2002?
I don't remember him playing. That's a fact.
Yeah, he didn't.
But he was part of the team.
He was
Yeah,
part of the
only
team.
22
Was
minutes.
he- was
Only
he a
22
youngster?
minutes he played.
He was a youngster. He
Was he a
played a
youngster?
few. Okay.
22 minutes
Okay.
in total for Kaká.
Okay. There is the talk that Liverpool wants Jude Bellingham, but at the same time, Liverpool are now up for sale. Okay, so I want us to talk about this, to look into this a little bit. There is also the back talk, the back channel whispers that Man City are able to convince Pep Guardiola's wife. Pep Guardiola wants to stay, but now it's about his wife and the children. His wife to say, sign an extension to your contract. One of the players that Pep Guardiola might demand is Jude Bellingham at whatever cost. Jude Bellingham have the Manchester City history. If they bring Jude Bellingham to that midfield, I will not have Jude Bellingham, Kevin De Bruyne, and probably any other player. It could be Bernardo Silva, it could be Rodri, it could be Ike Gundogan, whoever they bring, playing behind Erling Haaland. And whichever 2 players they put on the white side, in Mahrez and the British Ogbori, Grealish. Is that team not going to be a very dangerous team?
Very, very good. It's just like the Invisibles and what's the other one now for Real Madrid? What's the
Galacticos.
The Galacticos. That's just how it's going to be. That's just how it's going to be. Because when you have a Kevin De Bruyne, 30-year-old who's playing like a 20-year-old, and I saw a question which I'm going to ask you after this thing. But if you have such players and you have all these wingers that are very, very creative, wingers that are also very selfish, but at the time they get to play team play a lot of time, that team is going to be very, very unstable. They're just going to be matching head, right, and center. But the problem is, the Champions League, there's just been this thing. Like every time they go far, they get one step closer, something inevitable just happens.
I don't think that they might win the Champions League this season.
I don't think so either. Something's just going to happen. Something, who knows, maybe Leipzig, because even Leipzig, English media they posted an emoji of this crime. But come on, the future can still hold anything. Erling Haaland, 20 minutes in, and just get a stretch. Julian Alvarez comes in, De Bruyne just comes out of the game. Stuff like that could happen. But if they get Jude Bellingham, they're going to be unstoppable. For Liverpool, they've been
if Man City doesn't win the league, the Champions League this season, hypothetically, I'm creating an hypothesis. This is not me saying this is what will happen, but this is just an hypothesis. They don't win the Champions League. Arsenal nick the league title last minute, and probably they go on to win the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, like Liverpool last season. I'm just hypothetically. Would you still say they should keep Pep Guardiola?
There's no alternative. That's a question that I doubt will even come to their mind. That's a question because first of all, the investment.
So there's no coach in the market that can.
No, are they willing to? I believe that Manchester City as a whole are not willing to let go of him, no matter what, and they're going to convince his wife. And considering investment in just 3 years has reached more than £500 million. If you calculate Netanyahu, who these days, if you say £20 million, and Jack Grealish £100 million, you can imagine that's a whole lot, and they're going to do anything, no matter they've missed out on Champions League back here, and there. Real Madrid, Chelsea, Lyon, Tottenham Hotspur. They've been missing out since God knows when, and they've stuck with him through, and I believe that they're going to still hold on to him. For Liverpool, it's not the first time. Liverpool have bid for more than 600 billion players that they did not sign. Like, is there any news that you've seen? Any team, Chelsea?
I like that.
Is there any player you see Chelsea and Manchester United want to sign and you don't see Liverpool in the news? It's not possible. There's always that Chelsea man Liverpool bidding.
Is Liverpool the new Arsenal in transfer market?
Not really, not necessarily.
It's the new Arsene Wenger's Arsenal.
I don't know. But they've always been bidding. And Jude Bellingham, they will miss Jude Bellingham. That's a very, very sure fact I can say. So they will miss Jude Bellingham per se. Then my question, says Fabregas, Luka Modric, and Kevin De Bruyne. Start one, bench one, bin one. I've already been Kevin De Bruyne due to defensive reasons. Says Fabregas will give me some edge over Luka Modric. Why Luka Modric will be on the bench? So that question goes to you. I think it's pretty tough, right?
Says Fabregas, Luka Modric,
and Kevin De Bruyne. Start one, bench one, B one. I also need fans out there to also comment on this.
Guys, it's not easy as I think. Kevin De Bruyne, says Fabregas, Luka Modric. Start one, bench one, and bin one. That's in sell one. Kevin De Bruyne does not show up in big game. I'm going to bin him. I'll start Luka Modric. I'll bench says Fabregas. And I'll beat Kevin De Bruyne. I'm not a Kevin De Bruyne fan. Kevin De Bruyne is not that player for me.
I didn't think anybody was going to start Luka Modric.
I will start Luka. We're talking about their peak, right?
Yeah.
Peak form. I start Luka Modric straight up. I start Luka Modric because he wins me big games. Since Fabregas comes off the bench, he will lay it on the plate for anybody. So Fabregas can make anybody play well. Anybody. Look at the people that played around. Of all these players you call, since Fabregas is the only one that did not play with like real top class players, in his prime at Arsenal. He was playing with a defensive midfielder that learned on the job, Alexander Son. A Danielson that did not have a wing. A Flamini that is a midfielder today, tomorrow defensive midfielder. And then who was the other guy again? There was one other person around him. All of the people around him were just what they would call Feteboye. They were just weaklings. But he was able to stand his ground, hold his own, and make all of them come good. So I'm going to start Luka Modric. Pick Luka Modric is like absolutely fantastic. Syria Champions League winner, and I will bench Fabregas. I'm being Kevin De Bruyne straight up. He's a good player, no doubt about it. But I mean, the choice in front of me, there's a barrier to my head, and I've just made my choice. So let's go to the comment on Dangerous. It says sack Pep for who? They will beg him to stay safe. Okay. Debanam, he said, Luka the man. Start Fabregas, bench, Luka, sell KDB. Okay, I'm not the only person.
Okay.
I'm not the only person. Okay.
So KDB creatively is kind of better than the rest of them.
No. The people in front of the people that KDB have played in their front. If Fabregas play in front of those, be behind those people, if Fabregas play behind those players, Fabregas will make 40 assists this season.
Wow.
Like 40 assists without breaking sweat. Who plays behind Haaland? Plays behind what's it called? Aguero and shift. Shift. Just give me a chance. Shift. Don't even bring that to the conversation. Fabregas is almost in my top 10 in my Mount Rushmore Arsenal all-time great top 10. Fabregas is in that midfield. Fabregas, Vieira are in that midfield. I don't care what any other person. Bring anybody from 1960 Belgium, I don't care. But Fabregas is there. Fabregas showed up, and from the age of 16, 17, he was the dawn. You know that these boys sabi play ball. There was no let's give him 2 seasons like that Ogbori. What's it called? Nicolas Yaya no go Pepe. We don't sabi play ball. Okay, so Fabregas, I know Fabregas is top of the line. Oduni Remileko said, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. He said, despite the defeat yesterday, let's channel our energy in the league. Divine to go. He said, good morning, boss. Ijabode Pundit and the people of Elevated TV Radio Kingdom. You don't look for trouble, Divine. Oduni Remileko said, Arsenal no play yesterday. Now Wolves be our next match. No wahala. Adegbola Oluwaseun Fumi, he says, I want to predict Graham Potter future in January. Chelsea board will sack Graham Potter and John Terry will take over as interim manager to the end of the season. This I'm not even bothered predicting. I already said to you guys that Potter signing an English coach, and then now you want to replace him with an English coach. Just not really bad, Sha. From Frank Lampard to Thomas Tuchel, the time that you guys are supposed to back Thomas Tuchel to have power in the team, you sack him and you go and bring in Graham Potter. See Graham Potter now on the Potter out of competition here. But Duni Ramileka say it's good to see Josip Ilicic come back to football after a year out battling depression. He won't go surprise him wife for house. And I saw the wife surprise him. Yes, that's a lie, baby. Sometimes there's this thing I say to my crew behind backstage. Like I always say that I say I don't live a life. That's why I think all my life only once I've had like a birthday surprise. I when people surprise me. I don't like surprises because sometimes it doesn't go well. I don't like surprise. I don't surprise anybody. Don't surprise me. I'm not going to surprise you. So that's just what it is. Divine Tokai say Arsenal should resign Alexander Shuka. It will be who be that? Who's that?
Alex Iwobi. Is it Arsenal should resign Alex Iwobi? Why would you not want to take out Fabio?
No, Arsenal does not need him. Arsenal does not need him. He should do well where he is. He's doing well. I'm happy for him. I don't even have anything against him. I'm very, very happy for him. But Arsenal should also resign him. Arsenal should move forward, okay? Arsenal should move forward and get better players, not these ones, okay? Isaac asked Professor, what do you think about what's that? I don't know. I don't see what you right though. He said, what do you think about Super Eagles B team performance? I know they lost 2-0, but I don't watch the game. I've got too much on mind. Yesterday I went to school, came back. You know, my wife traveled, so it's just me and the kids. So much workload. Once I got done, I slept. I looked at the time for the game. It was 2 a.m. I knew I could watch the game if I wanted to, but I also realized that I was going to wake up 4 o'clock, 4:30-ish to start preparing my kids for school. I chose my sleep. I didn't watch the game. 2-0, not a bad one for a team that's just coming together. Not a bad one in my opinion. Anybody might have whatever they want to say about it, but it's a friendly game. I'm not one of those people who really, who is big up on friendly games and hammering on the result or whatever happens, because friendly games are designed for experiment. When I played football, friendly matches are not something that anybody takes serious. Okay, we're just going to experiment players, position, substitution, tactics, and all that. Whatever the result comes in, it doesn't really matter. Akwas Baba 82 say, I beg you, where Fabregas did not serve. Miguel Bros, I agree to now. Fabregas is in Cherabi. There's a club that he co-owned with Thierry Henry and some other investors, and he's playing there, but I mean, he's part of the owners of the club. That's his investment. Duni Ramilekon says, yes, Arsenal haven't replaced Oba. They should get a prolific striker this window or summer. We have zero. We have not replaced Laka as well. I agree with you on that one. Yemi Dynamite say good morning, big uncle E. Good morning to you. I was surprised, but then the young shall grow can be done while being in the midst of experience, and Tite knows why he chose to take Martinelli. Me too, I'm surprised. I'm not lying. I think I would really love Gabigol ahead of him. Now, this is not me saying they should drop him, but I think Gabigol have attitude problem, and that attitude sometimes can just come back to bite you. Probably that's what is holding Gabigol down. He's a good player, yes, but no, you can be good, and sometimes your attitude can be a problem to you. So that for me is what's held him back on that front. And then my sister wants to say, however, why is Neto making noise? Is he Gabigol's agent? It's possible. They could be friends. It could be somebody fighting for somebody that I like. But I don't think the way he puts it made it look like Martinelli does not even know what he's playing. And I look at me on Instagram says, sir, have you noticed the standards we put footballers in this era is quite low compared to the early Messi era and the 80s? Obviously, it's because of Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo as well. Because people now say, no, you're not expected to perform at that level. You're supposed to perform at this. And it's not just football anyway, generally in life. The expectations we have for politicians, the expectations we have for people, everybody, expectations are low now. Even Jam and Waeka are dropping cutoff mark. Okay? So expectations are very, very low. These days, people celebrate 150 cutoff mark. Back in the day, 150, you'll be crying. So in my day, Back in my days, that would make you cry. So times have changed. Chooks, I swear, would say Benedict confidence starts, and the fact that he's not afraid to have and stand by his own opinion, even at the risk of arguing with you, is something I respect for his age. Can I buy in breakfast? Yes, you can. Obviously, you can. I'll chat you up after the show. That's a very, very nice one. Thank you very much for that. Oduni Ramelaka say, Luka Modric will surely start, but Fab and Kevin De Bruyne, that's not what we ask you. Start one, bench one, and bin one. Throw one away, sell one. That's what we're asking you. So give us your own three, right? Choose. Adigwe says, start Sex, bench Luca, bin Kevin De Bruyne.
Okay.
Your Kevin De Bruyne is not starting anywhere. It's not starting anywhere. It's not. But let's be very honest. Kevin De Bruyne is not on this level. On the level of these guys I'm mentioning. The great, second morning boss. Benedict, well done. I really enjoyed myself yesterday with you. Okay, so I told you that you are going to eventually become the owner of this show, and I'll be on my own space, pursuing money, looking for other things, doing podcasts, shooting films. I want to go and complete my film, and then do another one, and then do another one, and then do another one. So this show eventually will be your own, and I'm sure from tomorrow we'll have a phone that we'll be using, and so people can also call in and then interact with you. Because yesterday I was just listening to the show, I was like, what if there was a phone? I think people would love to like really talk to Benedict. I think we'll need to get a phone for that. We'll get our something that we've waited for so long, not putting the phone in. But let's just jump in on some of these headlines that are there. Which of the countries that have picked players you think did not pick the right player? I know that the England squad would come with a lot of controversies, like a lot, a truckload of it. When England finally named their squad, their World Cup squad, you will see the top. But let me ask you, Benedict, who are the players? Uzezi, I see you. Who are the players you think do not deserve to make it to the World Cup, even before they pick them?
Well, first of all, I'm so happy that the criticism from the English World Cup will come from they themselves, because they criticize the other parts of the world. Then now it's them that will criticize themselves. That's one thing I'm pretty happy about. I don't really know who should not be in the squad, but I feel Ivan Antonio of Brentford should be in the squad, because that's going to be
It's not going to make it.
It's not going to be a very, very good backup striker.
I will bet anything it's not going to make it.
Because Calvert-Lewin, you can't bank on him any day. What's this guy?
I'll be surprised if you make it.
Callum Wilson can be there, but if you look at it, I feel Anthony should make the squad. Well, Madison is not going to make the squad, like you said earlier. It's not going to make the squad. Jude Bellingham, obviously, I feel.
What about Tomori?
Forget Tomori that game against Chelsea, Simlan, where he got the red card. The Chelsea fans and Englishmen already X'd him out. From that game, they already X'd him out that no, this guy is not. It's not a man. Like I always felt Harry Maguire is going to be there for sure.
Does it hurt being a black person?
In a way.
Okay.
Anyway, you just reminded me of one comment I watched where somebody went to India and they told him that we are native Indians, don't call us Indians.
Oh Lord.
And then when they went to a party and then somebody from the party shouted, "Who's your favorite Indian?" And they said, "You know I'm your favorite Indian." They said, "So this is what white people feel like when they can't say anyone you know." They then said for a moment it was good being white. So but that was. But in general, like black players are going to make the squad really, really late. I want to Bellingham, no other.
And
Raheem Sterling. Jadon Sancho already missed out. He's not totally impressed by Southgate this season.
No, but Jadon Sancho has not impressed anybody. So if he doesn't make the squad, nobody's going to come and say, "Oh, he's not good." No.
But if the British are going to choose this squad, they're going to pick Jadon Sancho and Jack Grealish. But just this guy, Southgate is going to pick the squad. I think Calvin Phillips, because of the Euro performance, they're going to risk him.
He's injured.
They're going to. There's a possibility of him returning.
Yeah, like 4 days to the start of the World Cup.
Yes, and 2018 World Cup, which Kai Walker played a right back.
Kai Walker is going to the World Cup.
So
Kai Walker will go. Like I know he will go without injury. Fit, he will go.
Yes. So those two.
Gary Southgate likes him.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the probable lineup squad that they've picked. And you know the funny thing, when you pick a probable squad and you still have just 3 goalkeepers, it's crazy. But then it's going to be Jordan Pickford, Ramsdale, and Nick Pope, right? Defenders, as bad as everybody. See, sometimes they say when God is your God is in charge of your case. Even the devil become your campaign manager. Like, as everybody sat down and say, Trent Alexander-Arnold is not good. He can't defend. He shouldn't go to the World Cup. Well, God made it sleep.
That guy's not going anywhere. They will take Trippier.
They will take him to the World Cup. I think they will take him to the World Cup. Trent Alexander-Arnold of Liverpool, Kyle Walker of Manchester City, Kieran Trippier of Newcastle, Ben White of Arsenal. Sure, but I'm not sure if Ben White will go, but Luke Shaw, Stones, Man City, Harry Maguire, Manchester United, Dyer that cannot defend, Coldy of Everton. Remember that guy? Yeah, Conan Coldy. And then you have Goy of Crystal Palace. I think that's the probable defense that they will take to. They might be surprised. Manchester United, midfielders will have obviously guaranteed 100%. Declan Rice, no beans. Bellingham, Jude, Anderson, Phillips.
People say Eze over Henderson these days. People say
I will pick Eze over Henderson. I'm not a fan of Eze, but what I'm saying is let Eze just get this England invite so that we don't start looking for him for Nigeria. He doesn't want to play for Nigeria. He doesn't see Nigeria as a country he wants to play for. And I don't want us to go to the place where we start begging players, and then when they don't perform, we now start having all this ex-international. I don't want that drama. So let's shut down on that drama and focus on what is doable. Okay, that's the way I want to look at it. And I think that Eze over Anderson will be good, but Phillips, I hear that Phillips might make the squad without kicking the ball. So it doesn't only happen in Nigeria anyway. Ward-Prowse of Southampton and Mason Mount, the only creative midfielder in that squad. What Julie Bellingham would also help. Attack line, you have Harry Kane, Raheem Sterling, Phil Foden, Saka, Grealish, Rashford, Abraham might make it at the end of the day. Well, a lot of people think he will not make it anyway. A lot of people think Abraham will not make it. But I think that they will sneak Abraham in because of the relationship with Southgate. But if he doesn't bring in Abraham, Ivan Toney might make it. But something tells me Ivan Toney will not make this squad. I just think that Gary Southgate does not like Ivan Toney. I don't know. The Great said, I'm happy Arsenal lost last night. Let's focus. Me too, I'm very happy. I was praying for it. I don't understand where that one comes. Oluyev said 5 start, bench Luka, and send Kevin De Bruyne to the German league. Yeah, this game we can do.
We'll go back to Wolfsburg.
Maybe Bayern Munich. Okay, Isaac as prof. He said, I'm afraid Tammy Abraham and Tomori may not go. Well, as we now say, I think Abraham might go. Oluyems, he said, I wish they will invite Ben White, but I doubt Southgate will risk him in right back. And they can still play him in centre back ahead of when Harry Maguire, Village people begin to behave the way they behave. They begin to push the buttons that they know how to push. They just might use him as a cover or as a back. Hey, Johnny Gaffer is back and he came back on the bank. Thank you very much. £4.49. Thank you very much for that. Where have you been anyway? Let's leave the money first. Where have you been? You've been missing in action. What's happening? You've been trying to sell Manchester. I hear that you took Manchester United to traffic and you were trying to sell Manchester United in traffic, but nobody's buying. Eze Patrick. Okay, Liverpool qualified. Yes, even though you came late. Eze Patrick say good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. Johnny Gaffer, thank you very much for giving us gifting us £4.49. It's been a while. You don't tell anybody give us money. Well, thank you very much. It's a money that been a couple of weeks. I've been able to make it live because of work. Hope everyone is well. Everyone is well. But workload is fainting me. Like school, harm. You know when your wife is around there, you feel like, oh, she's not doing anything until she's not there. And like, oh God, Jesus, all my back aches, my lap, work, stress, this, answering to 3 children. 2 million questions in 1 minute. Jesus. Johnny Gaffer said, Tony is facing alleged gambling investigation by the FA. He isn't going anywhere. Yes, you see, I saw that story. In my natural nature of the way I didn't talk about the rape case of those players of Mason Green, and the other guy, Benjamin Mendy. I tried to stay away because there is a way. In my former place of work, I learned something that was very terrible. we made an announcement of somebody's death on a Friday. It was our chairman that said it, so I wasn't culpable. On Monday, the guy shows up in the office. On Monday morning, the guy shows up in the office and chairman, thank you for killing me. Oh. Thank you for killing me. I just brought my family to come and show them the person that is planning to kill me. So there are some cases that are very, very serious, like just like this. What's it called? The video son's death. Okay. I stay with. I saw the story, but it's like it's an investigation. The problem with talking on this matter sometimes is that people will take your opinion and I say, oh, you said that this person is like this, and then the World Cup is very close. I don't want to be the stain on anybody's white garment. I wanted the investigation to come to a conclusion, and then I cannot sit down and have a conversation around it because I'm not a breaking news media. I don't like to break news. I stay away from this kind of things. So I don't get wrong information to people, and people not bank on what I say. Akpas Baba 82, he say the World Cup will give us many surprises. That's what everybody keeps saying, and I'm almost thinking like, oh, there's gonna be a new World Cup winner like we saw in 2010. Well, let's see. Have you guys seen the FIFA Uncovered video on Netflix? Have you guys seen it? I watched it last night. It came out yesterday anyway. Watched it last night. And I was just getting messages from people. I mean, there's some messages that I'll read as we approach the end of the show. But let me finish this one. Asa Patrick said, Anderson will make the list. Maybe not because of performance, but leadership skill. Which leadership skill? Gerrard. Leadership skill where? Olaiwaju, he said, good morning, Legote. I'm surprised Philip made the cut. No, that's a probable cut, so that's not the main. I was about to say that's not the main thing, no. And that's a probable one. Johnny Gava, he said, what a blunder. Blunder, which blunder now? Maybe he's talking about the team or something. I think he's talking about the team. What a blunder. Oh, the team, okay. Maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe, yeah. Okay. I hope so. I hope he could just elaborate with that. So when you look at okay, let me read one of the messages that somebody sent to me. Hi, Dafe. My name is Joel. Did you see the FIFA Uncovered video? You've always said that. Announcing that on air. Yeah, that was crazy. It was a former boxer. His name is. No, let me leave that. Former boxer. Okay, so he said, did you see the FIFA Uncovered? You've always insisted that there is no corruption in FIFA. What do you have to say about the whole video? Are you going to take back your word, or you are not going to take back your word? No, that's not what I've said. I said that football is fixed. I've always said that. But I do not believe that Sepp Blatter is corrupt. That's what I said. So it's not like there's no corruption in FIFA. So this is my take. And, I spoke with like 4 people in the FIFA executive, like people that I know, and I had a chat with somebody from the Caribbean, somebody from Nigeria, some people from the past leadership that I kind of like know. And this is what I've got to say to you. If do that for me, I'm a sports movie maker now, and I remember when we were having our production meeting, and the agenda for the film that we're shooting, the Chasing Glory, the documentary that we're shooting, was to tell 2 ways to tell a story that this thing where Oyibo they do so. Black Nigerian people, pure 100%, because the crew was 100% Nigerian. We didn't want any foreigner. Nigerians can do it too, and do it excellently well. That was 1. 2, our stories are not always meant to be negative. So want to tell a beautiful story, the dichotomy between Black players in England having to choose between Nigeria and Queen. Okay, we call it Queen and Country. And then, linking all of this story, Leon Balogun, forgoing German opportunity to play for Nigeria. And then the old boys like the Ahmed Musa, the Moses Simon, the ones that grew up here, how they fuse. I'm practically telling the whole story of the movie anyway. How they fuse their passion into mixing up with these foreigners who seem like they are coming to take their opportunities, but then they eventually, for the love of country, mix together and go to war to conquer. But then there was always this people like in the production set of like, no, you have to tell a story of the corruption in Nigerian football. You have to tell a story of the debt in the dirty politics in Nigerian football. And we fought, we quarreled, we argued, even people that was sleeping. And I said, no, that's not the aim of this story. I'm not going to bow to, we can sell up to 7 million if you tell us. No, I'm not going to tell that story. That's not the story we want to tell. So when you look at this thing, and I said to someone, I said, look, first of all, who is selling this story? Americans. Why are they telling the story? Because that's what journalism is about. There's you're either writing for or you're writing against. Then you now have to find the why. Because the why makes the how easy. So who is telling the story? America. The Americans are telling the story on the backdrop of what? What's the catalyst that led to this story that they're telling? The catalyst was that Americans thought it was their right to host the 2022 World Cup. Just the same way England thought it was their right to host the 2018 World Cup. Unfortunately, Russia, the black sheep of the family of the European zone, got it. Qatar, a small country that was not even on the football map, they don't have a league, they don't have stadiums, got it over US. And so for that reason, to destroy FIFA and discredit Sepp Blatter and his entire team, they did that. And so there are some stories in it that are true. But I want to clear something to Joel. I want to clear something based on this because your story, what you wrote is very long. But I want to clear one thing. You said, so Mandela is even, this is your right. So Mandela is even a corrupt man, a criminal. And I looked at him as a hero. So he gave $10 million of South African money, $10 million of South African money to Jack Wana. And then he becoming motivational speaker and hero. Pause. Wait a minute.
Does he have proof?
No, it's in the film. Now, but let me explain this to you. South Africa, as a country, gave that money, and in the name of African diaspora. The illusion that you do not need to pay people money to vote for you is sick. This was what I said during the NFF election when they said, what's that man's name? Nana was the most eligible candidate. I forgot his name. Chris Omerua was the most eligible candidate, and I agree that on paper is the most eligible candidate, but he's not going to get one vote because he does not think he should pay anybody money. No, that's an entitlement mentality. So before the World Cup, the Europeans thought they were the owners. It was a birthright to host the World Cup anytime, and then a few South American probably bring the US into the matter. It was a club, exclusive elite club of countries. Then Sepp Blatter ran for presidency over Leonard Johansson and won in 98 and became the FIFA president. And his promise was to take the World Cup around the world. Once he gave Africa that World Cup, they could not stay in the World Cup because they were just coming from appetite and all those things. Yeah. And any negativity they put on it will be like, oh yes, the colonial masters are not happy that they've been kicked out of South Africa. So they kept quiet, but they were bidding their time. When the World Cup now went to Brazil in 2014, they still kept quiet because, come on, Brazil is a big nation. It's one of the godfathers of football. They are the most successful countries in the World Cup. But the Europeans were not happy. Now, when England couldn't host it, they complained. But this is George for you. This is my counter. If you look at that film did not mention that David Beckham was paid 150 million to be the face of the Qatar World Cup. Nobody talked about it because David Beckham is the anointed of European football. Now, but try and understand the conflict here. David Beckham was the face of England bid. Remember that the 2018 and 2022 World Cup was a double bid. It was the first time that they're doing double bid that they did not wait. So David Beckham was the face of England. How does the face of England still have the conscience to become the face of Qatar? you see the conflict in that. But nobody's saying anything because it's the face. All of this corruption is leveled against Sepp Blatter, Mikel Platini. They all were arrested, but nobody has been indicted, nobody's been jailed. So you look at that, it's a power of the media. Whatever your media can say is what they want to use. And I'm not going to fall for that. I enjoy the world, the story. I enjoy the build-up. As a filmmaker, I'm looking at the layers, the camera angle, the sequencing, the way, the whole nuance of the storytelling. I love it. I won't lie. I love it. But do not. That I always say people this. Media is like church. You go to church and pastor say, God told me to tell you. Please, tell God to talk to you. You're not deaf. God is not keeping malice with you. So when media give you information, always have the presence of mind. So have an open mind. Don't just jump on it. It doesn't matter even if it's a daffy that said it. Have an open mind to say, okay, but let me look at it from the opposite side. That's why when I say this, people say I'm blasphemy. Every time I read the Bible, I read the opposite. I say, okay, what about the devil's side of the story? Okay, I will say, oh, you shouldn't be saying that. No, it's not blasphemy. I have the right to ask questions. That's the kind of brain that I was given. I have the right because many things that I read there does not make sense. For instance, when the pastor tells me that we are suffering from ancestral curse, and I ask, what of Germany that killed 6 million Jews? Did they not get ancestral curse? Okay.
Nazis.
What of England that enslaved the whole of Africa and America and the rest of them? They're not got ancestral curse. So you always look at it from the other side. Look at that story carefully from the flip side. Would we be watching this movie right now if England had won the hosting right of the 2018 World Cup, and if America is the country that is hosting the 2022 World Cup? Obviously, there will be no hosting, there will be no story. Sepp Blatter probably will still be as FIFA president, or it would have stepped down and somebody else would take over. There will be no corruption charges, there will be no problem. The truth is, when certain people who feel entitled, and you can drive this point home, if you worked in a company before where somebody thought that it was the one that they were supposed to promote and they didn't promote them, and then they gave it to you, and you do look like you don't even deserve the promotion, but somewhere management believe they saw something in you that makes sense, and then you see the venom with which these people start bringing up debts against you, start bringing things about you that you said don't even know that you've ever done those things. That's what I saw in that movie. Any other person can watch it and take their decision and see whatever they want to see in it, but that's what I see. I am not going to stay here and say they are corrupt, because when you say somebody is corrupt and you have evidence, I want to see you send them to jail. I want to see you prosecute them and then jail them. When you do that, I also adopt my hand for you, like, okay, you know what you're doing. But if you can't do that, then I don't think you have any reason to cry foul and do that. It's just bullying from England and America. I'm sorry. I know when I say this, people always say to me, these people will not give visa out. I've tried. I've traveled 52 countries and back. Even if I don't travel again, I've run my race when it comes to traveling abroad. It's not a big deal to me. So when was it? They will not give you a visa. I don't really care. I don't care. There are too many places to travel. My mama village, Egini, and my papa village, Alaja. If I did go there twice every year, I go water side, go jump into water, swim, come out. Now holiday be that. Now fun. If I go Calabar, go Budukato Ranch, go Abuja, there are places to go. I don't get time. All those things don't freak me. Go take selfie for abroad. You know, they freak me. If I go, yes, good. But I must stop my mind. That's the way I see it. Oluya, you said, what's your probable semi-finalist teams at the World Cup? Argentina, Brazil, this Germany team, I don't know if you're them. Germany, one of the teams. It's like it's looking like Sadio Mane might not go to the World Cup.
Yeah, it's not going. Ruled out.
Sadio Mane not going to the World Cup. Senegal just got weakened because of that. Now they're not going to have good leadership.
I don't think any African team right now is even going to make it out of the group stage as it stands.
No, Senegal will make it out of the group stage. Ghana will be the whipping boys of that group. They'll beat them 4-0.
Cameroon will believe they're going to go all the way to the final. I feel like they are going to be the whipping boys because of this confidence and all of that.
No, but Cameroon does have a team. True. They have a team, but all the way to the finals asking for too much. I can't find the fourth team. Brazil, Argentina,
Belgium,
Germany,
Netherlands.
Yes, that's the team I was looking for. Netherlands, Brazil, Argentina, Germany, Netherlands. If they don't meet each other before then, those are the teams that I think will make the semifinals of the World Cup. Okay. Dangerous says Williams, Argentina, Brazil, Gosha Didier. I don't know the other two. I like that. I like how you put it. Williams said, I agree with you, Uncle. US had an agenda and wanted revenge for losing to small Qatar. Hence the haunting of Blatter. True. Anybody who can read between the lines will see that. Mrs. Smiley said, my teams are Brazil, Argentina, Spain, and Denmark. That's Spanish team reach semifinals. Denmark is a dark horse, but they don't have a bench. They have a first 11, but they don't have a bench. One of them should win it. I want Argentina to win it anyway. Okay, so on the final lap of the YouTube, we have what's it called? Johnny Gavasi, your ex-chairman announcing person's death. Sometimes these things happen. We learn from it. He apologized. It was a mistake. I mean, it's a blunder. It's a mistake. No, there's nobody who doesn't make mistake. Somebody asked me one day, say, what's the biggest mistake I've made on air? I can't remember. Apart from probably like getting statistics or scoreline wrong, which is like a normal thing. I don't think I made those kind of blunder that comes back to haunt you. And I think the reason for it was hard tackle. You know, my style of doing hard tackle was that most times I pick like the wrong person. Like you say, Ronaldo and Alexis Sanchez, who's a better player. You already know when they give me Alexis Sanchez, you already know I'm on the bad side.
Yeah.
I cannot marshal up any point to tell you that Alexis Sanchez is better than Ronaldo. So what I do is I listen to you. I pray on you like a cheater. I just watch, especially overdose for that thing a lot. Especially as you're talking, you just make one mistake. I will spend the whole of my time expatiating under your mistake. Like talking about your mistake. So that I can confuse the head of the voters. When they want to vote, say, but this guy lied now. He lied. It's not true. What he said is not true. Yeah, Ronaldo is better. I will even come and say, Ronaldo is better than Mr. Sanchez. But if you need to tell a lie to make Ronaldo better, then you are not correct. I'm getting into the head of the voters. So because of that, I really research my stories very well, and I don't do breaking stories. Because that urge to do breaking stories is what makes people make mistakes. And then don't forget that I was not a presenter I just started being a presenter from April 2012. I was an analyst for a very long time. An analyst is a reactor. So you wait, they ask you a question, you give your opinion. You hardly get it wrong. What would have been wrong was when I started in 2017 to start predicting how the season would end, which coach would be fired, what team will win the title, what team will make top four. Those were risks that I took. Those were crazy risks, but I took those risks because I wanted to stand out. I didn't want to be like every other person. I've always, I'm a minority. Let's be very honest. My name is not Mohammed Ahmed. My name is not Abiodo Olaiwola. Nobody's going to remember Edafe Matthew in 10 years if I'm not on air anymore. Nobody's going to remember that guy because Edafe is a minority name. It's not Makonjola. It's not Awolowo. It's not synonymous with the Wazobia. So nobody's going to remember me. And so I fought hard to get to the front of the queue with crazy and unthinkable predictions, audacious. Like I was putting my neck on the line anyway. If he goes wrong, I'm shattered. Well, hey, what's the harm in trying? And I think that's how I got to the front of the line. So I didn't make mistakes. But there were some predictions that I made. When I look back, like, were you high on drug? Like when I said Barcelona were going to beat Paris Saint-Germain 6-1. Okay, say they will win. But 6-1? Who does that? When I said exactly 10 years ago, that Man United will not win the league in 10 years' time, that was ridiculously stupid at the time. Even I remember my chairman telling me, and after this thing you've just said, you put yourself in the worst hole ever that you might not be able to dig yourself, because what it takes is for Man United to win it 9 years from now. And all of your nearly prediction will go to shit. I said 10 years, okay? 10 years is minimum. It go past 10 years. And now I feel good about it. Or when I said Nigeria that not qualified for the Nations Cup back-to-back, Nigeria was terrible. They did the draw on the 2nd of June 2016 for the 2018 World Cup. And I said Nigeria was going to qualify with 1 or 2 games to spare. That's crazy, yeah. Those are predictions that I made. And when I said Arsenal would not win the title again, even if Wenger stayed for another 20 years, that was ridiculously mad. But I think somewhere along the line, I've had a good fortune when it comes to those predictions. I've had a good fortune of sitting back and being able to say this. So, Ada, that's my answer. I've not made any of such blunder yet, and I hope I don't until I stop talking on the microphone. I hardly do that. The Larawaju says, Adegbola Loashon for me say, I love the French team. They don't have midfield, but I think the midfield is not strong enough. That midfield is shit. The Larawaju say, oh, I see. Then Philip should not make it. Me too. I don't think he should make it, but hey, let's see how it goes. It's a Patrick say, boss, you have to pay people to get votes, and favor is a wrong analogy. This is what we are fighting right now. Listen, nobody's going to do you favor in elections, especially in FIFA, because when you are hosting the World Cup, you're hosting a $5 billion plus business, and that business will bring in tourists, will bring in a lot of things to you. If I am going to vote you, to assist you, to make your economy get that money, what am I going to get? If this is This is the business world. It's called trading of cards. What is in it for me? Because I might vote for you, and my country will still not qualify for this World Cup that we're talking about. So what's the big deal? People is different from even your national. Say, I am not going to sit here and tell you that it is wrong to canvass for vote with money. I am not, because I do not have the good conscience and the moral standing to do it. It's not going to happen. There is not a country. Where do you think all those campaign funds, where do you think the money is going to? All those plenty millions and billions that they raise for election. If election is supposed to just be go and vote, don't spend money, where do you think all those funds are going to? Then we're all of what made most miserable. We're deceiving ourselves. I don't think it makes sense in that regard. So if people pay for votes, they have the right to pay for vote because it's a business. If I want if you want to put you're telling me that if Coca-Cola wants to put their sponsorship on this show, they will not pay me. Say, let's do favor. No, they will pay me money. So it's the same thing with the vote, because that would make you make money. It will give companies access to your country. They will pay you money. I'm going to help you achieve that. My brother, it's called finder's fee. Why do they pay on money like money? Why do they pay housing agents money? These guys that are voting for you are voting. They are voting. They're the agents. So I'm not delusional. There's no utopian world anywhere. It's a survival for the fittest, better tactics, whatever you use. So that's the way I see it. Well, we'll run out of time anyway. Dangerous say Man United must suffer for 600 years. I beg. Increase. I know 600 years is too much.
I did the Israelites.
I don't know. Devon, I say Brazil, Argentina, Spain, and Germany semi-finals. That Germany team, and if you're they just look one kind. They are there, they are not there. They're just like that.
And they lost to Movena. I think the attack is really
Then there is Denmark, there is Netherlands, but I'm certain of Brazil and Argentina. You'll be a bit surprised if those two teams don't get to the semi-finals. Dangerous said, okay, I think I've read that one before. Dangerous is not possible. Akbazaba is saying England is just going to the World Cup as spectators. They go drive round about and then come back. Dangerous, exactly where the money they go. That's another question. I think that's the topic for tomorrow. Daily Man, I say Nigerians never sabi. I agree with you on this one. Oh yeah, they've been on 30 years like Liverpool. Oh God, show that the end and I got it sweet. Daily Man, I say it's a world of survivor. Akbaz Baba, he say money and voting are like Siemens stories, so they are inseparable. I agree with you. As Patrick said, boss, you have to pay. Oh, I read that one before. Macaroons is apt too. Consolidate Timothy say, Edafe, you know they talk about politics again for your show. You don't ask me political question. If you ask me political question, I will answer you. The show is a sports show, but people are allowed to ask any question. Did you ask me a political question? I didn't answer you. I give you my opinion. So you said that of Blatter does not mean that Tinubu isn't corrupt until proven guilty. No, your sentence is not correct. If Tinubu have drug, they just unsealed this drug case. But what you don't understand is, I am not here to say Tinubu is corrupt or is not corrupt, because that's a word that is left for a time that a competent court have jurisdiction to put on somebody. It's not my job to put it on anybody. That's one. Two, if a person has not been proven in the court to be corrupt, anything you say, the fact that you get away with it on your platform does not mean you are right. There is never a right way of doing a wrong thing. It doesn't mean you're right. So we have to understand that. The other day, somebody sent me a message and said, your sister is a drug cheat. That's Blessing Okabari. And I was laughing and I replied him. I said, please, what is the name of the drug she took? And just that moment, it dawned on the person that, okay, he is very, very stupid. Another person is a doctor, is a medical doctor. I said, please, doc, what's the name of the drug she took? And the conversation ended. Couple of weeks later, he called me and was apologizing. I said, no. She's my sister. She can handle herself. But when you come out in public to attack somebody, put facts along the line. You are old. If it's small children that are doing it, it's fine. But you're an adult. You are the father of people. Because I check you out. And you are this stupid. It means your school fees was wasted. He said, no, if you shouldn't insult me. I said, I'm not insulting. I'm just telling you that you're stupid because you're actually stupid. It's the reality of things. But people don't see it like that. If you're not a competent court with competent jurisdiction, you can't call somebody corrupt too. Because things are allowed to go in Nigeria. Does not mean it is the right thing to do. If somebody now comes and sue me for libel, and then it's okay, come and prove the corruption. Where is my evidence? Okay? Oluyam, he said, me, I like as you touch everywhere in this show. Well done, sir. Thank you very much. He said, make them show us saints and pope, okay? Where they do politics now. I'm tired of all these gullible Nigerians. I like your take on Odegbami's talk about the girls on Tuesday, and I'll post the video today. Thank you very much, bros. And thank everybody who's been on the show today. Here's Patrick. He said, like DR Congo qualifying for the World Cup, I'm still feeling the pain. Oh no, that one. Okay, that was a loss. That was a wrong prediction for me. I got it wrong. Gwendolyn Marcos. Okay, my boo. He said, so which team do you see winning the World Cup, or which team is strong for you? It's a finals between Brazil and Argentina. It's a repeat of the Copa America as far as I'm concerned. And I think that Messi is going to end the World Cup as a winner. But there is a dark horse that none of us are talking about. That is Portugal. Because the way their group is, they might be that team like England of 2018 that get the luck of the draw, play mumu teams and get to the semi-finals. In that point, they might get to the finals and play against Argentina, and Argentina will just win it easily, and Messi will win the World Cup. And then the whole story of Messi, Ronaldo, the curtain will draw down that day, and we'll know who will be the GOAT and who will be the EU. Well, this is where we'll draw the curtain. See the way I create this hypothesis. It sounds sweet to my mouth.
That sounds ridiculous and planned and like foreseen.
I'm going to make a good movie. I'm beginning to become a good storyteller. Dangerous, he said, I like your take on, okay, I'll post the video later. It's about to say nice show today. Please, people should know the meaning of gullible. I beg. Right. Bye-bye. We go. Any last one from you, bro?
Nah, just see you all tomorrow. Make sure you're here. Share the link of 11 TV Radio.
Tomorrow we'll talk about a lot of that. And I'm going to upload all those videos from the Tuesday show. Please, when you watch, make una comment. Una not get leprosy for her. When I engage in the comment section, sure. And once again, Johnny Gaffa, thank you very much. We appreciate the money you sent to us. God bless you. And Divine, okay, let's talk after the show. Bye-bye and have yourself a wonderful day. My name is Ada from Matthew. It's been lovely being with you guys and Benedict on the show. Let's do it again tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. My son will say.